Hello students, welcome back to our video. So in the last video, we were discussing about the import procedure. Import procedure and the last step that we discussed was about the receipts of documents. So the first step in the import procedure was obtaining import license. Second step was obtaining foreign exchange. Third step was placing an order. Fourth step was dispatching letter of credit. And fifth step was receipts of document. In the last video, we stopped here. So now let's continue with the sixth step of import procedure. That is to obtain the order of receiving goods. To obtain the order of receiving goods. Bill of lading is one of the documents received by the importer showing the ownership of the goods. Bill of lading. Bill of lading means it is a bill when the goods are landed or when the goods is reached to the destination. That is known as bill of lading. Bill of lading is one of the documents received by the importer showing the ownership of the goods. The exporter makes endorsement on this document for the transfer of ownership of goods in favor of importer. So, bill of lading is a document which shows the ownership of the goods, means the importer owns the goods. And when the goods is reached, so exporter makes the endorsement, means that exporter also asks for the bill of lading to the importer so that there is a proof that the transfer of ownership is of goods in favor of importer, that the now owner was importer but now it is the ownership of goods is transferred to the exporter. This document is to be presented to the office of shipping company. Possessions of the goods is with shipping company. If the freight is to be paid by the importer after receiving, the freight shipping company makes an endorsement on the bill of lading giving order to the captain to ship the released goods in favor of the importer. So this document, that is bill of lading, is given to the office of the shipping company. The goods or possession of the goods is with the shipping company, and after the payment of the freight, the shipping company makes the endorsement on the bill of lading giving order to the captain of the ship to release the goods in the favor of importer. So that is to obtain the order of receiving goods. Then seventh step is paying the import duty or excise. The importer has to pay import duty on the imported goods. The goods are not allowed to bring outside the port until the import duty is paid or exemptions of duty certification is produced. On the basis of consular invoice and the certificate of origin of the goods, if less excess duty is to be paid, a bill of entry form has to be prepared. In this form, complete information of the name of the ship, name of the port of the foreign country from where the goods had been loaded on the ship, the name of the exporter and address, name and address of the importer, and total details of the goods are maintained. Excise is determined on the basis of details of this form. When the decided duty is paid, the excise officer makes the endorsement on the bill of entry and hand over it to the importer. The goods on which excise duty is not paid are kept in the bonded warehouses. So, importer has to pay import duty or excise duty. Whenever if importer is not paid excise duty, then that goods is kept in the bonded warehouses. But after the payment of the excise duty, The excise officer makes the endorsement on the bill of entry and handed over to the importer. So, after the once the order of receiving goods is obtained, then second step after that is paying the import duty or the excise duty by the importer. Once the import duty or excise duty is paid, then there is payment of the dock charges. Next step is payment of dock charges. The importer has to pay a certain kind of charges for using the place where the vehicle arrives, either by airways, roadways or seaways. So importer has to pay certain kind of charges for using the place where the vehicle is coming or arrives, either by airways, roadways or seaway. Such charges are known as the dock charges. Dock charges includes all the expenses related to the equipments of that place. Facilities available to till the importer gets possession of the goods. After boarding the goods from the vehicle, a receipt is issued after payment of dock charges is called the dock receipts. Got it? And the last step after payment of the dock charges, the last step is getting the possessions of the goods. After completing all the formalities on the part of the importer gets the possessions of the goods. So, the possessions of the goods has to be moved out from the bonded warehouses within a certain time limit. If the goods are not moved but from the bonded houses within a certain time limit, then the rent and the demurrage have to be paid for using bonded warehouses for the excess time. So once all the formalities on the part of importer is completed, the importer gets the possessions of the goods. And there is certain time limit that the goods has to be removed from the warehouses. And if the time exceeds, if the importer is not able to remove all goods from the warehouse within the time limit, then extra charges has to be paid for using the bonded warehouses for the excess time. So this was the last step for the importer procedure, that is getting possessions of the goods. So there are total 9 steps in the import procedure. Then now let us look at the export procedure. What is export procedure? When the trader of a country sends goods to the trader of the other country. When India sends goods to USA, then it is said that he has exported the goods. Then it is said that India has exported the goods. Export procedure is different in different countries. Export procedures from India is as under. So different countries have different export procedure. This is the export procedure given from the point of India. Got it? So this is the export procedure of India. So in that, the first step is getting an order. So first step of export procedure is getting an order. The exporter is given. So this is the procedure which is needed to be fulfilled by the exporter. So first step is getting an order. The exporter is given the order of goods by the importer. In the order, details of the goods, quantity, prices are decided, types of packaging, date of dispatch of goods, details of insurance, details of transportation services through which the goods have to be sent, mode of payment of the bill, and terms and conditions decided are mentioned. Before receiving the order, the exporter gets the information about the financial capabilities, creditability, and relevant matters of the importer. So, first step of export procedure is getting the order. So, once the exporter gets the order from the importer, then in the order details, like everything is mentioned. The types of goods, quantity, prices, types of packaging, date of dispatch of goods, details of insurance, details of transportation, everything is mentioned in the order detail. So before receiving the order, the exporter gets the information about all the financial capabilities, creditability and relevant matters of the importer. So this is the first step of export procedure. Then after getting the order, second step is obtaining the export license. The exporter has to obtain an export license in order to export the goods which comes under the import-export control laws. The other items apart from these can be freely exported, but for this a general license has to be obtained. To obtain license, an application is to be made in prescribed form to the Trade Department of Government. It is necessary to give clear identity of the exporter, details of the exporter, and assurance of regular payment of the income tax and other taxes in the applications. Those professionals who export regularly are called the export house. So, the second step is obtaining export license. Whenever an exporter gets the order, it is necessary to have the export license in order to export the goods which comes under the import-export control laws. Other items apart from this which do not come under the import-export control laws can be exported freely, but for that also general license is required, and to obtain such license an application is to be made in prescribed form to the Trade Department of the government. Then it is necessary to give the clear identity of the exporter, then details of the exporter and the assurance of regular payment of the income tax and other taxes in the applications. And those professionals who export regularly are called the export house. So this is how you can obtain the export license. Then third step of export procedure is collecting goods. The exporter collects the goods as per the importer's order after obtaining the export license. If the exporter is the manufacturer, he starts manufacturing the goods as per the order, and if the exporter is a trader, he starts collecting the goods as per the order. So after having the export license, third is collecting the goods. Exporter collects the goods as per the importer's order, and if the exporter is manufacturer, then he will start manufacturing the goods as per the order of importer. And if the exporter is a trader, then he will start collecting the goods as per the order of the importer. So third step is collecting goods. Then the fourth step is foreign exchange activity. So now we are going to stop here. In the next video, we would be continuing with the remaining export procedure steps, and export procedure step is very long. So now we are going to stop here, and still if you have any questions or any doubts, please feel free to comment below the video. Thank you.